Hi again, everybody, from Goss Stadium at Coleman Field on the campus of Oregon State University in Corvallis, along with Andrew Henderson, Casey Lavin, Thomas Rudolph, and our crew at 1240 Joe Radio, Garrett Dworshak, Dale Hummel, and TJ Mathewson. This is Mike Parker welcoming you to Game 1 of the three-game West Coast League series between the Corvallis Knights and the Cowlitz Black Bears. On a warm, gorgeous Friday evening in the Mid-Valley, 86 degrees, heading into a holiday weekend of sorts, although the 4th of July is on Tuesday. We will apprise you of some of the great promotions coming up this weekend, which includes tonight's T-shirt giveaway. The first 250 fans coming into the ballpark, and I think that's already meant the allotment of the Corvallis Custom and Serve Pro T-shirts have been handed out. Fans are wearing them. It's a good look in the 2023 edition and a beautiful night for baseball here in Corvallis. Jonathan Stone was part of the Knights wrapping up a sweep of the Springfield Drifters last night. Jonathan is a very analytical, talented young man out of George Fox University who is getting ready to wrap up his fifth-year senior year in Newburgh at George Fox as a mechanical engineering major. He went to Roseburg High School. Very intelligent and nice young man, and a big man that I had a chance to visit with before the game. The 6'7", 225-pound right-hander shares his thoughts about life with the Corvallis Knights at George Fox, coming out of Roseburg, his upbringing, his career path after baseball. All of those things we'll explore with the big right-hander Jonathan Stone from George Fox as our pregame show gets rolling next. It's the Knights and Cowlitz, the first of a three-game series on a warm summer night in the Mid-Valley. Back in 2 with Jonathan Stone on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Back at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, gorgeous warm summer night, the final day of June. The Knights game of their year against the Black Bears. Honored joined by young David watching it. Have a chance to meet him. A lot of new guys in the club this year. But it's a pleasure to welcome Jonathan Stone to our pregame show out of Roseburg High, and Doc Stewart's and George Fox, and get ready to back to Fox his senior. Jonathan, nice to meet you. You enjoyed summer ball with Corvallis?
It's great to be in such a great ball club. Being great, being around great ball players that just are elite in every single aspect of their game, and just being able to chance to even be around these guys just elevates my game to the next level, and I am truly grateful to be around them every single day.
Jonathan, how did the opportunity to come compete for the Knights come about?
obviously from my coach, there's a lot of other players. I had some recent like spikes and velo, just kind of figuring some things out on the mound, and one thing leads to another, and here I am.
When you talk about spikes and velo and figuring things out, I mean, is it using that big frame? I mean, how did you end up getting an upsurge in that department?
Well, I got some Tommy John surgery earlier in my college career, so that kind of set me back a little bit. But I was able to kind of bounce back from that, and then I had a lot of time to recover and kind of reconstruct my delivery, and I think that's a major factor of what helped build back my velocity.
If you don't mind, tell me a little bit more about that. What you did in reconstructing it, did you feel like the mechanics kind of led to some problems leading to Tommy John surgery, and you've kind of come out of that and corrected some of those things?
To be honest, I'm not really sure. It's probably a lot of different factors. And coming back from surgery was kind of a roller coaster for me compared to a lot of other guys I've talked to. So it took me a lot longer to figure out. But, like I said, I'm just happy, truly grateful to be here. So,
Jonathan Stone, my guest, as a mechanical engineering major, when you said took a while to figure things out, mechanical engineers that I know spend a lot of time doing that, trying to figure out the right way and figure out things. Do you kind of treat your own arm, your mechanics, your body at all like that from an analytical standpoint?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's just how I was bred as a human. Just kind of overanalyze and overthink a lot of things, probably more than I should. But that's who I am. So yeah, I'd say I definitely approach it a little bit differently than a lot of other guys do.
How did you get on the mechanical engineering track, and do you have some things in mind with what you want to do in that line of work?
I was always I never really liked like English classes, and I was always pretty good at math. So engineering was something that interested me. I got into some like drawing programs pretty early in high school that also kind of piqued my interest. So that's how I kind of got into it. But as far as like what I want to do after college, there's a lot of different things. Aviation, so planes are cool to me. Maybe a military focus on that. Some other things as well. I'm big on the outdoors, so anything relating to that would be good for me.
Now, I hope you don't mind me asking it this way. Jonathan Stone, my guest, when you talk about the military, when I first met you and sat down, I asked you a couple of questions. You said, yes, sir, no, sir. That strikes me as a respectful sort of approach that may have been perhaps learned through being around people in the military, your own father, parents. Is that true? Do you have some experience in that world?
Yeah, my father was in the military, and then he became an Oregon State police officer. He's been that my whole life, and someone I look up to greatly. Obviously, very proud to have him as my father. Going to retire soon, so congratulations to him. But yes.
Does he work in the Roseburg area?
Yeah, most of the time. He's kind of up and down the freeway a lot, but yeah, usually hovers around there.
Well, good for you to have learned some great lessons from your father and other people you've been around in Roseburg primarily. From Roseburg to George Fox, was that an easy decision? Did you have some other options coming out?
Well, the big thing was I wanted to do engineering and baseball at the same time. Really the only place that we could find in Oregon, I wanted to stay in Oregon too, the only place we could find in Oregon that I could really do that was, I think, Oregon State here. And so I wasn't, I had surgery coming out of high school, and I wasn't really, the cream of the crop coming out of high school. So decided to go to George Fox, and here I am. So something must have worked out, I guess.
We're glad it did. Jonathan Stone, last couple of things. Bo Kearns was telling me how much he liked coaching you at Doc Stewart's, how much he enjoys working with you now, and he feels like what you're talking about, that the stuff and just everything about what you're doing as a pitcher since then. I mean, he feels like there's a lot of growth potential still to come. I mean, do you still feel that way? There's even a higher level to get to.
Absolutely. I'm always looking for ways to improve my game, and I try to talk to Coach Kearns and all these great ball players around me. I was just trying to soak in as much information as I can from them about, certain things like advanced pitching mechanics, stuff like that. So, yeah, I think there definitely is always room to improve. And you know, I see sparks of it sometimes where everything just kind of lines up. And if I can just, you know, get that a little bit more consistent, you know, work on a few things, then I think there's much more room to grow.
Another coach here that I don't know in terms of, you know, how much his methods are for everybody. I think if you buy in and commit to what Coach Yoon does, you benefit from his approach and style. But I got to ask you, just what's that part of it been like for you? The things that he's worked on, not only your mind, but your body and all of that. How's that gone for you?
Yeah, Coach Uni is definitely a different style of coach than what I usually am used to. But you know, I trust him fully, and I feel like I'm bought into his stuff, and just try to work my butt off every single day. And I feel like he has a lot to offer that I haven't really experienced before. So I'm all in for it, and you know, I trust him a lot.
Jonathan, it's a pleasure to meet you, and thank you for taking time. I've enjoyed watching you pitch and look forward to it the rest of the summer. Thanks for taking time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Thanks so much.
Jonathan Stone, my guest. We've got the starting lineups right around the corner, and the first pitch on this warm summer night, the final night in June, Game 1, the Knights and the Cowlitz Black Bears. Thanks for joining us on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. A beautiful summer night in the Mid-Valley. The Knights and Cowlitz Black Bears. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for first-year head coach Kelly Stinnett, the longtime major leaguer. What a great opportunity for these Cowlitz Black Bears to learn from an outstanding major league catcher who can impart wisdom not only to Grant Jay, a catcher, and the others within the Cowlitz organization, but all of the players on his roster. And the lineup tonight for Coach Stinnett looks this way. Leading off in center field, Sam Canton. Batting second at shortstop, A.J. Singer. Ethan Mann batting third in center field. The cleanup hitter at first base, Brandon Larson. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Grant Jay. Latrey McCollum hitting sixth in right field. Chris Brown batting seventh at third base. Batting eighth at second base, Eli Lopez. Max Ortega batting ninth and catching. And Nate Moquin, a right-hander, on the mound. Zach Johnson is the night's starter. He's getting ready to work with his battery mate Anson Arrows to face Sam Canton on a warm, little breezy Friday night. And the first pitch is a fastball up and away, and here we go, underway in the first of a 3-game series. 1 ball and no strikes to Canton. Sam swings and doesn't get it. Sam has not been doing a lot of that. He's hitting .392 with 13 runs batted in. The 1-1 pitch from Zach. Fastball just missed. And the count 2 balls and a strike. Sam Canton, A.J. Singer, and Ethan Mann, top of the first inning under the sun on a warm Friday evening in the Mid-Valley. Johnson's 2-1 pitch misses for ball 3. 3-1. Zach getting the start in the series opener, his 3rd start, 4th appearance. He's worked 9 innings, 6 hits. The pitch on the way, a high pop-up on the right side. First baseman Blake Avila straddling the line in fair territory, makes the catch, and we are underway. So a good job by Zach to work to contact on a 3-1 pitch. And A.J. Singer, the batter for Cowlitz. 1 out, nobody on in the top of the first. A.J. at .254, a homer, and 15 runs batted in. Zach to the plate, and he hits A.J. on the top of the helmet on the first pitch to the right-hand hitting shortstop. So A.J. heads down to first and appears to be just fine. It can be a bit of an unnerving experience, I'm sure, to get hit in the head, helmet or no helmet. And this one went off the top of his protective batting helmet. And down to first base goes Singer. He's 1 for 2 in stolen bases. That brings to the plate Ethan Mann, a right-handed hitter. And the first pitch to Ethan misses from Zach Johnson for ball 1, 1-0. Ethan out of McKinney, Texas, had a sensational season at Dallas Baptist. He drives one to deep left here. Playable, though, for Ethan Hott, who goes back to get it. 2 down. But we'll be looking for a couple of bona fide sluggers and stars from the Dallas Baptist program here this weekend at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Ethan Mann, a 3rd-team All-America this past year with Dallas Baptist, hitting .319 with 20 homers and 80 runs batted in. Big-time numbers. Brandon Larson, the batter. Zach Johnson's off-speed pitch misses low and inside to the left-hand hitting first baseman. No score, top of the first inning, just getting started. Great to have you with us on the night's live stream. Larson takes the 1-0 pitch for a strike, and the count 1-1. Brandon out of the University of California, San Diego. 1 ball and 1 strike with A.J. Singer at first, 2 down. Johnson's 1-1 pitch is pulled sharply off the mid of Blake Avila, deflected to Mason Lee. Lee's throw to first is in time to retire the side. A head-first slide by Brandon Larson trying to beat the throw. Kelly Stinnett will not let that one go completely unchallenged, I don't think. He goes out to receive the helmet from his hitter, Larson, who smoked the ball. I thought Brandon was making a beeline, which he can't do for the umpire. But Brandon out by a hair, an excellent play. 3-4-1 on the putout at first to retire the side. No runs, no hits, a man left. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Cowlitz nothing. The night's coming up on the night's live stream and 1240 Joe Radio.
welcome your center fielder, number 23 years, J.C. Ing.
The putout 3-4-3. Blake Avila knocking the ball down. Scrambling to get it for the Knights was Mason Lee, and Avila did a good job to get up, scramble back to the bag, and receive the throw for the putout to end the top of the first inning. And now we go to the bottom half with Cowlitz right-hander Nate Moquin ready to go. He expectorates and goes to work on J.C. Ing. And the fastball to the Knights' left-handed hitter backs him off the plate. Ball one. Bottom of the first, no score, and another nice crowd coming in. Nearly 1,900 in the house last night. The Moquin fastball in there for a strike, and the count 1-1. Moquin, big righty, 6'4", 210, from Omaha. Delivers a check swing by Ing, taken high, ball 2-1, Millard North in Omaha. He goes to Iowa Western Community College, which is right across the river, I believe, in Council Bluffs. The pitch on the way, so he didn't go far for his education after playing in Omaha in high school. The 3-1 pitch to J.C., a strike. And the count goes full to 3-2. J.C. Ing leading off, followed by Tyler Quinn at third. Blake Avila batting third at first. The 3-2 fastball to J.C. Ing is high and away. Moquin issues a free pass to open his outing, and Tyler Quinn will come to the plate. For the Knights, Tyler Quinn in the 2-hole at third. Blake Avila batting third at first base. Max Ortega out for a quick visit after the initial result, a leadoff walk. Ortega out to visit with Moquin. Ethan Hott, the cleanup hitter in left for the Knights. Sam Stem batting fifth in right field. Mason Lee hitting sixth at second. Anson Arrows batting seventh and catching. Tate Shimao hitting eighth, the DH. Tai Yukamoto batting ninth at shortstop. And Zach Johnson has put up a 0. Tyler Quinn shows bunt. Pulls the bat back and takes ball one. I think Kelly Stinnett is saying, hey, did he offer at it? I think he did, actually. And no, says the base umpire. I think the Knights got away with one there. Tyler Quinn missed the bunt attempt, and the umpire called it ball one. And on appeal, much to the consternation of Kelly Stinnett and the entire Cowlitz dugout, it stays 1-0. Now the 1-0 pitch with Tyler not showing bunt is inside for ball two. 2-0 to Tyler Quinn, starting the night at 288. A homer, 15 runs batted in. Third in the team in that category. He takes a fastball just inside, and Moquin, not by much, but is behind. 3 balls and no strikes. Nate is making his 6th appearance and 5th start. 12 innings in, and already we've seen a trip to the mound by Nate's battery mate, and now the pitching coach, Justin Parrish, is going out to see if he can help Moquin kind of settle in here before things get out of hand with respect to freebies early. A walk, and now a 3-0 count to Quinn. Zach Johnson putting up a 0 in the top of the first inning. Zach, the right-hander out of the University of Portland. And the home plate umpire comes out. This is a fairly lengthy conversation, and I have a feeling that this is also an opportunity for Coach Parrish to say, hey, my guy wouldn't be 3-0 if you or your partner would have seen the bunt attempt missed. A very leisurely and lengthy conversation here with Justin Parrish. I don't believe there's any sort of time limit in the era of pitch clock on visits. That had a Bull Durham kind of length to it. They're talking about wedding gifts or chickens and, whatever else. I doubt whether that was the subject matter, but the length approximated the Ron Shelton, Crash Davis, Kevin Costner, Tim Robbins, Susan Sarandon, Robert Wool Classic. And the pitch to Tyler Quinn is a strike. 3-1 the count. No score, bottom of the first. Blake Avila on deck. Moquin's 3-1 pitch is laced into left field. Base hit. Ethan Mann has the ball go by him and roll all the way to the fence. Brook Knight is waving J.C. Ing around. J.C. scores standing up. The Knights lead it 1-0. A good start for the Corvallis Knights. A walk to Ing, and then Tyler Quinn gets in a good hitter's count and rips what will probably be scored, a double to left for Tyler Quinn. Then an error on Ethan Mann, enabling J.C. Ing to score from first. 1-0 Knights, the 16th run batted in for Tyler Quinn, now tied for second in the category. Blake Avila swings, strokes it to right field, base hit. Latrey McCullum goes over to get it, and Quinn holds at second. Just simply didn't have enough time to go back and tag, and even had he done so, probably would not have tried to advance. So, one away, 1-0 Knights, and Ethan Hott, the batter. It'll be scored a single for Tyler Quinn, a long single, but he goes to second on the error, and J.C. Ing scores. And Tyler getting his lead from second with Ethan Hott trying to pick him up here in the bottom of the first. Moquin delivers a jam job, produces a slow roller to A.J. Singer, who charges, gloves, and throws Ethan out. 2 down, holding at second base was Tyler Quinn. A.J. getting the ball quickly to Brandon Larson, and Sam Stem, the batter. It's Nate Moquin and Max Ortega, the battery for Cowlitz, with Brandon Larson at first, Eli Lopez at second, A.J. Singer at short, Chris Brown at third, Ethan Mann in left, Sam Canton in center, Latrey McCullum in right. Fastball outside, ball 1-0 to Sam Stem. Tyler Quinn picking up his 16th run batted in, joining J.C. Ing tied for second. Sam Stem, the team leader, with 18, looking for 19 right here with 2 down. Moquin's 1-0 pitch fouled at the plate. The count 1-1. 1-0 Knights, bottom of the first inning. Game 2 tomorrow night, 6:35, Cowbell night. The first 250 fans will get more cowbell. Moquin ready, the right-hander to the plate. Breaking ball in the turf, ball 2. 2-1. Eli Kennel not in the lineup tonight for Cowlitz, but it was great to see Eli before the game, as well as Tice Peterson. Eli, it pains me to say it, I love the young man, but the former Beaver and former Knight, Eli Kennel, Washington State bound. Happy for Eli and an opportunity coming in a new era in Cougar baseball on the Palouse. Great young man, talented young man. I hope that he'll have more opportunities than he was able to garner with the Beavers this past year after a good summer, helping the Knights win their 6th straight league title last year. 2-2 to Sam Stem, 2 outs. Quinn from second, the 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed for strike 3 to retire the side. The run is perhaps unearned, and in fact, I would dare say it is, just because if single, I'm not sure that Brooks Hatch would have had Ing going to third on that single. I'll have to check, but it could indeed be an unearned run. The Knights, though, do parlay a leadoff walk into a run, taking advantage of an error. 1 hit, 1 left. After 1, the Knights won, Cowlitz nothing on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. 1-0 Knights. Grant J., the batter. The first pitch from Zach Johnson missing to Grant. The 1-0 offering pulled foul into the Knights dugout. 1-1 the count. Grant J., the designated hitter. Latrey McCollum on deck and Chris Brown to follow. Zach Johnson delivers high and away. Ball 2, 2-1 to one of the best young talents in America. Perfect game freshman All-America this past spring at Dallas Baptist University. The 2-1 pitch is in there for a strike to even the count 2-2. Grant, a highly regarded catcher coming out of Mobile, Alabama. In fact, the number 17 catcher on the recruiting trail. Lived up to it and more. He flails at a 2-2 breaking ball here and strikes out to open the top of the second. Latrey McCullum will come to the plate. But we will hear more about Grant J. tonight and through the rest of the series. Just his eye-popping numbers as a freshman for Dallas Baptist. 21 home runs. Hit .319 with 21 jacks and 62 RBIs. Latrey McCullum, the batter, swings at the first pitch from Zach Johnson. A ground ball to second. Mason Lee up with it and throws to Blake Avila, quickly 2 down, and Chris Brown, the batter. We'll learn more about Latrey as we go as well, out of the University of California, Santa Barbara, who hit .300 this past year for former Beaver All-American Andrew Checkett. And I enjoy the listing in Latrey's bio, his favorite writer, his mother. Writes in the Christian literature genre, Tori McCollum, and also a writing mentor and instructor. Chris Brown takes outside from Zach Johnson. The 1-0 pitch down and away, ball 2. 2-0 to Brown, 1-0 Knights, top of the second inning. Chris Brown, a long way from home, out of Yukon. Brown takes a strike, and the count 2-1. It's interesting to me how there are the outliers on the roster that don't necessarily have any connections per se out here. The 2-1 pitch is hit foul just below us, heading into the Jack Riley concourse. The ball bounces around. I don't know if Amy or Jeremy Kennel, they were right there. Jeremy had a chance to make a play and didn't. He just let the ball bounce in the concourse. But everybody's okay, and somebody has a souvenir. The 2-2 pitch, swinging bunt, foul up along first to Chris Brown. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Bases empty. 1-0 Knights in the top of the second. 6:35 tomorrow night, 7:15 on Monday night with fireworks to follow. Hope that you've gotten your tickets already. Presented by Oregon State Credit Union. Zach Johnson's 2-2 slider blasted to left field. Back on the ball goes Ethan Hott. The ball hits off the middle of the fence in the alley in left center. J.C. Ing plays the carom off the fence, and Brown pulls into second with a booming double into left center field. The wind is blowing out to left center. I thought that the combination of the swing by Brown and that wind blowing out might have produced a game-tying home run. As it is, Brown settles for his second double of the summer. And Eli Lopez is the batter. Eli, an incoming freshman at Cal State Fullerton. And I have something in common with Eli, as I do with Jared Lucas, the former sharpshooter for the Beavers, now at Nevada. The pitch to Eli is low, ball 1. Eli Lopez, a graduate of Los Altos High School in Hacienda Heights, where I spent my freshman year before moving to Oregon midway through the freshman year. Great time for a kid to move. A 1-0 pitch to Lopez, a fly ball to center. J.C. Ing backs up and makes the catch. That's an easy thing to do, right, when you're in 9th grade. We're moving to Oregon. Oh, okay, let's go. And we did. I've been grateful to be here ever since. But seeing Eli from Los Altos brought back a lot of good memories growing up in Hacienda Heights. No runs, a hit, a man left. After 1.5, it's the Knights 1, And the Cowlitz Black Bears, nothing on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio.
On your mark.
One nothing Knights to the bottom of the second inning. Mason Lee takes a strike from Nate Moquin. Mason swings at the strike one pitch, a grounder to third. Chris Brown pulls Brandon Larson off the bag, but Larson makes the tag on Lee going by. One away. Anson Arrows, the batter. Anson, the switch hitting, highly athletic, strong, talented catcher. Quick and strong arm, good hitter from both sides of the plate. Hit his home run from the right side. The first pitch, he shows bunt, takes a strike, and the count 0-1. A lot of good baseball players that will have a chance, as we always do, after these enjoyable summers. The strike one pitch hit foul to the left when we're sort of all together on the same side and team. And while the Knights are ultra competitive and have won 6 straight championships as a result, the strike two pitch just outside and the count 1-2. It's the pace of the summer game and just the fact that you have a mix of players from all over the West primarily. The 1-2 pitch to Arrows, taken, strike three called, 2 down. It was a real pleasure to meet and visit with Anson briefly before the game today and wish him well with the University of Oregon. But you know how intense the rival games are. And while I will look forward to seeing Anson play next year down the road, it'll be, as always, ultra competitive. But here in the summer, it's nice to be part of the same team. Tate Shamau, the batter. Tate takes down and away, ball 1-0. The right-hand hitting designated hitter. Tate takes the 1-0 pitch for a strike. Young man out of the outstanding program of Larry Lee at Cal Poly. The 1-1 pitch to Shamau, playing in just his 4th game. He's 2 for 10 with an RBI. Misses for ball 2, 2-1. The quick working Moquin delivers. Shamau a slicing fly ball toward Casey corner in the right field corner. The count 2 balls and 2 strikes. I was talking to Brooke Knight before the game. Knight down in his post at third. Ed Nags coaching at first. 1-0 Knights in the second. The 2-2 breaking ball, a grounder to short. A.J. Singer charges, gloves, throws, and retires Shamau. I asked Brooke if he'd ever taken a player out as a coach mid-inning for defensive purposes. He said no. He's thought about it. But he said it happened to him playing American Legion ball for Ritchie's Market. I'll share that when we continue. We go to the third. The Knights 1 and Cowlitz nothing on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Top of the third inning at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The Knights leading Cowlitz 1-0. Zach Johnson's first pitch to Max Ortega, a strike. The 0-1 pitch, a ground ball to second. Mason Lee is right there to play it and throws over to Blake Avila. One away, and Sam Canton, the batter. Ortega out of Brandon Cook's country, St. Mary's High School in Stockton, and attending Cal State Fullerton. Sam Canton popped out to Blake Avila to open the game in the first. Here we go in the third, 1-0 Knights. Canton takes high and away, ball one. Both pitchers setting a good tempo. The 1-0 pitch, a ground ball towards Mason Lee. Mason waits, fields, and throws to Avila. And Zach Johnson doing a nice job keeping the ball down, and has produced another ground out to second. That's 3 of them, and 4 assists already tonight for the second baseman, Mason Lee. A.J. Singer, the batter. And the first pitch to A.J. misses for ball one, 1-0. A.J. Singer from Iowa Western Community College in Council Bluffs. The 1-0 pitch missing for ball two, 2-0. I have enjoyed running across the bridge between Omaha and Council Bluffs, Iowa, a lot of times through the summers. The pitch to Singer, belted to left, twisting and turning, going back on it is Ethan Hott. He turns and finds it and makes the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for the first time tonight, and a very efficient one for Zach Johnson. We are through 2.5. The Knights 1 and Cowlitz nothing on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Bottom of the third inning, a new pitcher for the Cowlitz Black Bears with the Knights leading 1-0. Noah Imboden, a left-hander out of Kalama, Washington, and attending Jack Riley's old stomping grounds, Lower Columbia College. The first pitch to Tai Yukamoto from the southpaw. Imboden is in there for a strike. Imboden back to the plate. Breaking ball, a looper to shallow left field. Ethan Mann, a long run, and he gets there. Nice play by Ethan. Had an error in the first inning, but does a nice job to get a good jump and use his wheels to bring in the fly ball to shallow left. J.C. Ing, the batter. J.C. walked and ended up scoring the run for the Knights in the bottom of the first inning, the lone tally in this ball game. With Imbeden making his 6th appearance, 11 1/3 innings, 12 hits, 8 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. His first pitch is a strike to J.C. Ing. The quick working lefty comes back and misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Shadows beginning to cover, in fact, not beginning to, they have covered both the left and right side batters boxes with the pitcher. Imbeden in the bright sunshine, he misses for ball 2, 2-1. Comes back to the plate and delivers a strike to JC. 2-2 the count with Tyler Quinn on deck. Imbeden delivers, breaking ball hit high and deep to right. McCollum on the move, still going back, and the ball gets down all the way to the base of the fence in right center field. McCollum and Canton giving chase, and J.C. Ing powers one into the alley in right center field. When the ball left his bat, I thought that McCollum was going to be able to run it down, but certainly J.C. made better contact than I thought from up here, and the ball carried better than I thought it would with a cross breeze going from right towards left center. J.C. really hit the ball hard, and now Tyler Quinn, the batter. J.C. has a chance to score another run here in the third. He's at second. Quinn jammed, may have broken his bat. A ground ball to Singer at short. A.J. charges and throws to first to get the out on Quinn. 2 down on the play. J.C. Ing advances to third on the slow roller, and Blake Avila, the batter. With J.C. Ing 90 feet away, talking to Brooke Knight. Brooke said when he was 16 in an American Legion game for Ritchie's Market, he was having trouble catching breaking balls. He had about 3 or 4 in a row get past him, and he said Dick McLean, his good friend and the legendary Dick McLean, for whom the field is named now at LB. Dick, after the 3rd or 4th missed ball, he said, son, you're not ready, you'll get better, but we got to make a move right now. And I'm doing this for your good, for your own sake. And it was a fairly harsh thing to have happen at the age of 16, almost like moving when you're 14. The first pitch to Blake Avila misses for ball 1. The lefty comes back. Imbeden delivers a strike. 1-1 the count. J.C. Ing at third. 2 down in the bottom of the third. 1-0 Corvallis. Imbeden works from the modified windup, and the ball gets through Max Ortega, and here comes Ing to score. The shovel from Ortega to the pitcher Imbeden, who never did get to the plate to cover, and the Knights lead it 2-0. JC has been up twice, on twice, he scored twice. It reminds me of the line in 42. We underrate the stat known as runs. The pitch on the way, and the 2-1 count to Avila, lifted foul off third. Chris Brown and Ortega come over. Brown has a play and makes the catch past Brooke Knight, who got over being replaced mid-inning as a 16-year-old and said he understood more now, what Coach McLean was up to. But J.C. Ing has scored 2 runs. The question the kid asked his dad in 42, Dad, how many runs do you think Pee Wee's going to score today? And Dad says, I saw a game, son, where Honus Wagner scored 4 in a game. Oh, wow, that's so cool, said the kid. We don't talk like that anymore, do we? How many runs is somebody going to score? How many home runs is somebody? How many strikeouts? What's the exit velo going to be? Well, the kid in 42 wanted to know how many runs Pee Wee was going to score in a game. That's cool. The Knights get a run. J.C. Ing has scored 2, and at the end of 3, the Knights 2 and Cowlitz nothing on the Knights live stream, 1240 Joe Radio. Through 3 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Knights 2 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Cowlitz no runs, 1 hit, and 1 error. Quick moving ball game. Right-hander Zach Johnson works on the right-hand hitting Ethan Mann. Behind the count, 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 pitch is lifted foul. Our first action into Urchin Alley, bouncing around the bike rack at the main entry area to the ballpark. 2-2 to Ethan Mann. 2-0 Knights in the 4th. Zach Johnson to the plate. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Strike 3. 1 away in the top of the 4th inning. Brandon Larson will be the hitter.
Now batting for the Black Bears, the first baseman, number 50, Brandon Larson.
Ethan Mann transferring from New Mexico State to Dallas Baptist, actually then began his career at Midland College before going to Las Cruces. So well-traveled and had a huge year at Dallas Baptist, which had a tremendous year and a great program. Brandon Larson takes low and inside, ball 1. 2-0 Knights in the 4th. The 1-0 pitch to Larson, a ground ball right at Blake Avila, back of the bag at first. Blake takes it to the bag quickly, 2 down. And Grant J will be the hitter. As soon as I saw the name Grant J, I asked myself, well, I wonder if he's any relation to Joey. And behold, he is. Joey J, back-to-back 21-game winner for the Cincinnati Reds in 61 and 62. Grant J, a prolific power hitter, drives one to deep left center, but J.C. Ing finds it, heads back just shy of the warning track on a well-hit ball, but Ing makes the catch. We'll learn more about Joey as we go this weekend, thanks to the presence of Grant J in the lineup for Cowlitz. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Zach Johnson. He's retired 7 straight after 3.5. The Knights 2 and Cowlitz nothing on the Knights live stream, 1240 Joe Radio. Bottom of the 4th inning, Ethan Hott, first ball swinging, a fly ball to right field. Latrey McCullum drifting over, steps in front of his center fielder Sam Canton, and the rangy Latrey McCullum hauls it in. 1 pitch, 1 gone, 2-0 Knights in the 4th, and Sam stemmed the batter. Sam struck out in the 1st inning. Knights baseball brought to you in part, as I mentioned earlier, by our friends at the Oregon State Credit Union, the official sponsor of our fireworks night coming up on Sunday. Investing in all of our communities and dedicated to creating financial solutions toward making local lives better. Stem swings at the 0-1 pitch and hits a rope into right center field for a base hit. A 1-out single for Sam. Mason Lee, the batter. And if you live or work in one of 24 Western or Central Oregon counties, then you're entitled to the full membership privileges and financial services of Oregon State Credit Union. You can join online at one of their 15 branches. We look forward to seeing you on fireworks night, Sunday night, 7:15, presented by Oregon State Credit Union. Bobby Merwin announced that there are fully 20 tickets left for the game. So order them up right now. Go to CorvallisKnights.com. You can order the last few online, and they're going obviously fast. You probably need to have that order in before midnight tonight. I've always wanted to say that. Mason Lee takes away ball one, 1-0. 2-0 Knights, bottom of the fourth. Line drive, base hit into center field off the bat of Mason Lee. Sam Stem takes a turn and holds. Sam Canton gets the ball back in. Back-to-back singles for the Knights off Noah Imbeden here in the bottom of the fourth, and Anson Arrows, the hitter. Growing up in Hacienda Heights and attending Newton Junior High and playing Little League ball in Hacienda Heights. Joey J, by the way, might not have thought that was a great idea. I remember reading Joey's essay, Don't Trap Your Son in Little League Madness, when I was around 10 and 11 and playing in Little League ball in Hacienda Heights. Very interesting article by Joey, who was the first Little League player to become a Major League player. And he loved Little League in Middleton, Connecticut in 1948 by what he wrote in that excellent article. The pitch to Anson Arrows is high, ball one, 1-0. 2 on and 1 out. Out of the stretch works Imbeden and comes to the plate. And the pitch is in there on the outside corner for a strike to Arrows. Switch hitter turns around to bat from the right side. But it was in Hacienda Heights when I first heard some sort of record, the history of country music being sold. Get your order in before midnight tonight. And I went running into my mom and dad. Mom, we got to order this before midnight. I was disabused of that notion at about 10, and always then from that point on, I looked askance at certain forms of advertisements. The 1-1 pitch down and away to Arrows, ball 2, 2-1. Stem at second, Mason Lee at first, 2-0 Knights, bottom of the fourth. Noah Imbeden from the stretch. Several glances back at Stem, comes to the plate, fastball a little bit high. Ball 3, 3-1 to Arrows. Cowlitz starting the night at 11-12. The Knights, winners of 5 straight, are at 14-7, heading down the stretch of the first half. The 3-1 pitch to Arrows misses outside to load the bases. Tate Shamau, who grounded to short in his first at-bat, will be the hitter. And the pitching coach for Kelly Stinnett in his first year at Cowlitz, Justin Parrish. Stinnett spent some time in Edmonton last year and established the connection with this league in this part of the world and said yes to the opportunity offered by Tony Bonacci, the owner of the Cowlitz Black Bears, to become the head coach for the Cowlitz Black Bears. Coach Parrish has the entire infield on the bump, talking to Noah Imbeden, turns and heads back to the dugout. The Knights have the bases loaded and 1 out. Leading 2-0, trying to stay on a roll. After an uncharacteristically slow start by the standards of the 6-time consecutive West Coast League champions, the Knights beginning to hit their stride and want to keep the momentum rolling into perhaps overtaking Ridgefield and clinching the first half title and an automatic berth in the playoffs. They still have some time in that regard. The pitch to Shamau swung on and fouled back. No balls and a strike. Bottom of the fourth, the infield a double play depth for the Black Bears. Imbeden delivers and Shamau rips it to left. Ethan going back. Mann makes the catch. Nice play. Sam Stem tags and scores. The Knights lead at 3-0. But a nice read by Mann out in left center and a ball that nearly took off on him into the alley. Shamau hitting it well. And Mann needed to read it well and did. Good wheels. He has more than atoned for a first inning error with a couple of nice running catches. 2 down, Tai Yukamoto the batter. The runners go. The pitch is outside. The throw goes to second base, and both runners are in safely. Mason Lee to third. Anson Arrows to second. Community Outreach, Inc. gets another gift from Papay Material Handling and All Pro Property Services, combining one step closer to home in support of COI, Community Outreach, Inc., with every night stolen base. Yukamoto takes the 1-0 pitch low for ball 2, 2-0. The Knights leading 3-0. 1 ball and 1 strike the count, pardon me. And Yukamoto, who flied to left with a chance to get a base hit and get 2 more home. He hits Tai Yukamoto, does Noah Imbeden, to reload the bases. And that'll bring to the plate the Knights' leadoff hitter, J.C. Ng. The run, by the way, last inning scored on a passed ball. So both runs up to now unearned. The Knights with an earned tally on the board here in the 4th inning. 1 in the 1st, a run in the 3rd, and now a tally here in the 4th and looking for more. J.C. Ng has been up twice, scored twice. He takes the first pitch outside. The 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike. 1-1 to J.C. Doubled last inning. Imbeden to the plate and misses down and away. Ball 2, 2-1. Bases full, 2 down. Mason Lee at third, Anson Arrows at second, Tai Yukamoto at first. Big swing and a miss by J.C. to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Imbeden working out of his modified windup, delivers 2-2, and it's swung on and missed. Strike 3. The Knights get a run, but they leave 3. And at the end of 4, the Knights 3 and Cowlitz nothing on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Top of the 5th inning, the Knights leading 3-0. Right-hander Zach Johnson delivers to Latrey McCollum. And the first pitch to Latrey misses just outside. Ball 1, 1-0. Zach Johnson's 1-0 pitch, that misses for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Zach comes back to the plate, and it's poked back up the middle into center field. Base hit. Latrey McCollum, a leadoff single for the Cowlitz Black Bears. And that brings to the plate Chris Brown. McCollum is off to an excellent start this summer through his 7 games with the Black Bears, hitting a team leading .423, 5 runs batted in. He's 4 for 5 in stolen bases. He's held on at first by Blake Avila. The first pitch missing to Chris Brown. Ball 1, 1-0. Brown doubled off the middle of the fence in left center in the second. Zach Johnson from the stretch comes to the plate and delivers a strike. The count 1-1. Just the second hit of the ball game for Cowlitz, courtesy of Latrey McCollum. He bluffs the 1-1 pitch, fastball foul back. The count to Chris Brown is 1 ball and 2 strikes in the top of the 5th. Another good crowd coming in. Corvallis Custom and Serve Pro T-shirt night. Tomorrow night, cowbell giveaway night. McCollum goes. The pitch is swung on and missed. The throw to second is not in time. Head first slide. Brooke Knight thought that the call was missed. It was a very quick pop time on the part of Anson Arrows, and he threw a strike down to Tai Yukamoto. And Brooke Knight comes out to discuss it with the base umpire. But there really isn't, I'm just wondering in terms of the grounds for the argument. Other than he disagrees with the call, there isn't any recourse to change anything here or ask for help from the partner. McCollum got a pretty good jump, but Arrows kind of negated that by his very quick pop time and strong throw. The count 2 balls and 2 strikes meanwhile to Chris Brown, who takes a breaking ball away. Ball 3, 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Brown. But Cowlitz with an opportunity to pick up a run begin to chip away with a runner at second and nobody out. Johnson's 3-2, breaking ball taken, strike 3 called, 1 away. Beautiful hook delivered by Zach. And with 1 out, Eli Lopez will be the batter. Tomorrow night, remember, cowbell giveaway night. The first 250 fans will receive a Corvallis Knights cowbell presented by Peterson Trucks and 99.9 KRKT. Lopez takes a curveball way outside, ball 1. Eli flied to center in his first at-bat. Anson Arrows out for a visit with his battery mate. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Sunday night, remember, 7:15 for the series finale. Fireworks night presented by Oregon State Credit Union. Three nothing Knights in the top of the 5th inning. Latrey McCollum a single, a stolen base. He's at second with 1 out. Eli Lopez, the young man out of Hacienda Heights. His dad played professional baseball out of San Jose State, was drafted by the New York Yankees in 2002. He swings and fouls 1 straight back, and the count 1-1. The bio that I read on Eli said his mother was also a college athlete, but didn't specify which sport. But clearly, a strong genetic line. And Eli, good baseball player, an incoming freshman to a strong program at Cal State Fullerton. McCollum's going to third. Breaking ball outside, and the throw to third pulls Tyler Quinn into foul territory to receive it. McCollum getting a good jump on Zach Johnson and essentially stolen on Zach. He has 2 stolen bases in the inning. 6 for 7 in his young summer with Cowlitz. And he's in scoring position at third, 90 feet away with 1 out. And he will score as Eli Lopez drops a single into center. McCollum trots home. J.C. Ng gets the ball back in. And Eli Lopez with the RBI single to center. It's now the Knights 3 and Cowlitz 1 with Max Ortega coming up. And one other note on Lopez in his bio. Delightful to see that he declares as his favorite actor Joe Pesci. Interesting choice. Ortega grounded out in his first at-bat. A good choice, but one I don't see that often in the players' bios when they ask in those questionnaires, favorite food, favorite movie, favorite singer, favorite, etc. Joe Pesci. 1-0 to Max Ortega. Bluffing Eli Lopez. He's not going. The pitch is outside. The throw to first by Arrows drives Lopez back. 2-0 the count. And I wonder if it's the Pesci of Goodfellas, Funny How, or Pesci of Home Alone, or Pesci of My Cousin Vinny, or all of the above. Pesci of Raging Bull, Pesci of Casino, Pesci of the Irishman. Pesci's good. The 2-0 pitch missing for ball 3 to Max Ortega. Zach Johnson's been good tonight. The right-hander's 3-0 pitch in there, and the count 3-1. 3-1 Knights, top of the 5th inning. A waxing moon getting bigger and bigger as we peer out towards right center. A high pop-up in foul territory. The Knights need to communicate. They don't. Everybody is probably going to be safe. The throw to first. The Knights get an out. With the Knights not communicating and Max Ortega not running. That play had a lot going on with it. The second out of the inning, a high pop-up that appeared to be in foul territory. Anson Arrows took his mask off. Blake Avila came down from first. Zach Johnson came over to, in a sense, direct traffic. The wind blew the ball back fair. A lesson for Ortega not running it out. Into second base goes Eli Lopez on a pop-up that there's a couple of should have been caught, but then at the end Ortega should have been standing on first base and didn't run. The wind blew it back fair. A painful lesson for Ortega. The batter is Sam Canton, and the first pitch misses for ball 1. Canton drives it to center. J.C. Ng carries Oka back to get it, and the inning is over. Max Ortega thrown out 2-3 in one of the more bizarre pop-ups that was in foul territory, blown back fair. Ortega didn't run. He gets thrown out. Sam Canton lines out to center, and the inning is over. A run for Cowlitz in the 5th on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. At the end of 4.5, the Knights 3, Cowlitz 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio.
From the University of Utah, here's number 5, Tyler Quinn.
Bottom of the fifth inning, Riley Roscoff is the new pitcher. He too from Council Bluffs, Iowa Western Community College, originally committed to Yavapai College out of Chino Valley, Arizona. The left-hander's first pitch is in there for a strike to Tyler Quinn. Tyler swings at the 0-1 pitch and fouls it to the right into Urchin Alley. The count 0-2. 3-1 Knights, bottom of the fifth. Tyler Quinn, Blake Avila, and Ethan Hott against Roscoff. Misses down and in with a breaking ball to run the count to 1-2. I suppose Max Ortega, who didn't run, could also say, well, I had no place to go, with first base occupied and what appeared to be a routine pop-up off Ortega's bat. Eli Lopez was staying, of course, close to home at first on the pop-up. So that does mitigate. Yes, it does. Tyler Quinn swings at a 2-2 pitch and doesn't get it. Roscoff does a nice job coming out in replacing Noah Imbeden by striking out Tyler, who had singled home a run and grounded to short in his first two at-bats. Noah Imbeden came on in the fourth inning. We're in the bottom of the fifth, 3-1 Knights. Avila swings and sends one to deep left field, but playable. Ethan Mann goes back, fighting the sun and the wind a little bit, does a nice job dealing with the elements to stay with it for out number 2. Quickly 2 down in the bottom of the fifth inning, and Ethan Hott, the batter. Good crowd on this Friday night, enjoying just gorgeous weather. What a beautiful day it was. The pitch on the way, in there for a strike, and we're moving into the cool of the evening, and but just magnificent today. 0-1 the count, 2 down, nobody on. The strike one pitch, Ethan rolls one slowly foul. Spending some time in South Corvallis today along the Willamette River, just south of Willamette Park in our neighborhood, and marveling at the blue sky. Clear blue. I don't know what the AQI was, but I looked up and it was blue as can be. And these days, as Bruce Coburn says, you don't take these things for granted when you think about what's in need of repair and the smoke in so many parts of the world. And it so often comes into our region too. Today, absolutely glorious. The 1-2 pitch down and away to Ethan Hott. Ball 2, 2-2. 2 outs, nobody on. 3-1 Knights, bottom of the fifth. Roscoff to the plate, fastball taken. Strike 3 called. The inning is over. Nice inning for Riley Roscoff. We'll give you his overall numbers when we return at the end of 5. The Knights 3 and Cowlitz 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio.
2, A.J. Singer.
Top of the 6th inning, 3-1 Knights in game 1 of this 3-game series with the Cowlitz Black Bears out of Longview. Nathan Marshall with a first pitch breaking ball to A.J. Singer for a strike. Nathan taking over for Zach Johnson. 5 strong innings for Zach and a chance to get the win. Fastball from Nathan misses outside. 1-1 to A.J., who's been hit by a pitch and flied to left field. Marshall's fastball, high, ball 2, 2-1. Riley Roscoff making his 7th appearance, and boy, he was sharp last inning. 8 2/3 coming in to tonight's outing, 9 hits. Marshall just misses, and the count goes to 3-1. 10 earned runs with 8 walks and 8 strikeouts, but Riley very sharp to retire the Knights in order in the 5th. Now Nathan Marshall comes 3-1, and not a good start for Nathan. Fastball high and inside for ball 4. A leadoff walk, and that was part of what made the outing for Zach Johnson so impressive. He did hit a batter, but that was the only free pass that he allowed, giving up 3 base hits. Now Nathan Marshall, coming out of the bullpen, trying to protect the 2-run lead, issues a leadoff walk. Ethan Mann, the hitter. Ethan swings and doesn't get the first pitch. 0-1 the count. Ethan coming off his outstanding spring and has carried it over into the summer, hitting .308, a homer and 8 RBIs. Swings at the breaking ball, lifts a fly ball to shallow center. It's a long run for J.C. Ing. He slides into it and makes the catch. 1 away. Excellent job by J.C. getting the good read and staying with it. And the Knights get a tough out on a very good hitter in Ethan Mann, who flies out for the first out of the inning. Ethan, again, a third-team All-America this past spring at Dallas Baptist. Brandon Larson, the batter, a throw to first, and diving back safely is A.J. Singer. Latrey McCollum scored the run last inning for Cowlitz and stole 2 bases en route. Marshall delivers, breaking ball in there for a strike. The count 0-1 to the left-hand hitting Brandon Larson. A.J. Singer is 1 for 2 in stolen bases. Marshall settles in, comes to the plate, swung on and missed. And the count 0-2 to Brandon Larson, who grounded into a double play and grounded to first in his 2 at-bats against Zach Johnson. The former Hastings sodbuster watches as Marshall turns and throws to first, awaiting an 0-2 pitch. Three to 1 Knights, top of the 6th inning. Nathan Marshall taking over for Zach Johnson, the right-hander from West Albany and Lane Community College. Misses high and away. 1-2 to Brandon. Grant J on deck. The breeze is continuing to blow out towards left center field. Marshall delivers a ground ball wide of third. Tyler Quinn goes to second for 1, on to first, not in time. An excellent job by Tyler to get the lead runner. I thought he might cut his losses and just try to get the shore out at first, but he had enough confidence in his arm and thought, hey, we might get 2 here if I can get the ball accurately to Mason Lee. He did. Lee's pivot and relay to first, not quite in time. Brandon Larson aboard on the fielder's choice 5-4. And here's Grant J. 21 home runs this past spring for Dallas Baptist. And he's the team leader for the Black Bears in that category here in the summer of 23 with 4. He swings and misses 0-1 the count is struck out and plied to center. Nathan Marshall picking up for Zach Johnson, a 2-run lead for the Knights in the 6th. Comes back 0-1, swung on and missed. And the count 0-2 to Grant. From Mobile, Alabama to Dallas. Highly regarded catcher. DHing tonight, and again, the grandson of a Reds Hall of Famer. Won the only World Series game that the Reds won in 1961. It was Joey J who went the distance and got the win. Breaking ball down in the count 1-2. Struck out Roger Maris twice. Did Joey. How about that in that game? A complete game, and struck out the home run king twice. Went the distance. Joey J helping the Reds get to the World Series in 61. His grandson Grant swings and hits one foul. Back of the plate. Nathan Marshall working on the right-hand hitting Grant J with a count of 1-2 and 2 down. Top of the 6th, 3-1 Knights. Nathan kicks and delivers, and the breaking ball is low for ball 2, 2-2. The very phrase memorable. Don't trap your son in Little League madness. The 2-2 pitch to Grant J, whose grandfather wrote those words. Joey J is taken. Strike 3 called. If Joey thought it was madness in 1966, I sort of wonder what he would make of youth baseball these days with the elite teams and the travel teams and all of that. I mean, it's a different world, but I wonder what Joey thinks. He's still with us. Maybe we can get an answer at some point. In the 6th, no runs, no hits, a man left at the end of 5.5. The Knights 3, Cowlitz 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Left-hander Riley Roscoff to work on Sam Stem. And the first pitch to the Knights right fielder misses low and inside. Roscoff back and misses again and is behind the count 2-0. Roscoff swiftly set the Knights down in the 5th. A strikeout swinging, a flyout, a strikeout looking. The 2-0 pitch to Sam is in there for a strike. 2-1 to Stem, who struck out on his first at-bat, singled and scored in the 4th. The Knights a run in the 1st, a run in the 3rd, and a run in the 4th. Only one of the runs is earned. 3-1 Knights. The pitch to Stem is driven to the alley in left center field. Ethan Mann giving chase along with Sam Canton. Mann picks it up. Stem turns at second, helmet a fly. He'll hold at second with a leadoff double. Nice power to the opposite alley from the left-handed hitter, Sam Stem. Good swing. The batter is Mason Lee, who has grounded to third and singled to center. I was talking to Brooke before the game, Coach Knight over at third, hoping to be able to wave Sam around here in a moment. Lee with a bunt down. That'll move Stem to third. Coming off is Roscoff. The throw to first is just in time. Ed Nags thought that perhaps Brandon Larson's foot was off the bag. Ed Nags was reacting that way, but an out is called, and Brooke Knight, I think, is going to say, ask your partner to see if he saw the foot come off the bag. And that's what Brooke Knight is hoping that he will get from the umpire who called Mason Lee out. But Ed Nags reacted immediately as if, oh, wait a minute, Larson missed the bag. And the out stands. The base umpire did not ask his partner for help. Now, during our last series here, we saw a call overturned. When, that's all Brooke is saying. Why didn't you ask for help? You could have. You didn't have the right angle. But the base umpire sticks with his call and calls Mason Lee out on the sacrifice 1-3. The infield ordered in by Kelly Stinnett, the head coach for Cowlitz. And the pitch to Anson Arrows misses low and in, ball 1. Arrows has struck out and walked. 3-1 Knights, bottom of the 5th. The 1-0 pitch, a grounder to short. And with the drawn in infield, Singer is able to look Sam Stem back, throw to first, and there are 2 down. Tate Shamau, the designated hitter, coming up. Shamau has grounded to short and had a sacrifice fly, but with 2 away, the sac fly not in order here. Shamau looking for a 2-out hit against Riley Roscoff. First pitch, fastball, swung on and missed. 0-1 to Tate. Same 2 clubs tomorrow night on Cowbell night. 6:20 for the live stream. The strike 1 pitch, foul back, and the count quickly 0-2. When you visit Corvallis to catch Knights baseball, please stay at your locally owned Best Western Corvallis, the official hotel partner of your Knights. Close to Goss with the largest hotel rooms in the city and an outdoor heated pool. Wherever life takes you, Best Western is there. The strike 2 pitch hit foul down the right side. Tate Shamau hangs in with the ball well out of the reach of Latrey McCollum. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Bottom of the 6th, 3-1 Knights. Sam Stem at third with 2 down. A leadoff double for Sam. Now at third with 2 away. Shamau swings, gets a piece of it to stay alive. No balls and 2 strikes. Tai Yukamoto on deck. The left-hander Riley Roscoff comes back to the plate. The 0-2 pitch fought off again by Shamau, getting a little piece of it to stay alive. 0-2 the count. Sam Stem at third. Roscoff from the stretch. Another strike 2 pitch is chased and missed. The pitch was in the turf. The throw will go from Ortega down to Brandon Larson to complete the putout 2-3. And so the Knights do not take advantage. A leadoff double. Stem is left at third at the end of 6. The Knights 3 and Cowlitz 1 on the Knights live stream at 1240 Joe Radio.
Right fielder number 8, McCollum.
3-1 Knights as we go to the 7th through 6 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The Knights 3 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. Cowlitz 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error. The guy that scored the run steps in now, Latrey McCullum, and takes low from Nathan Marshall. The 1-0 pitch is hammered to center. Back goes J.C. Ng, has a play and has the baseball. 1 away. Latrey McCullum, a solid single to center in his last at-bat. Hit the ball harder and better this time around, but is an out. And Chris Brown, the hitter. Ben Crockett, a great Beaver fan and Knights fan, sitting to my left, tells me that 2 former Knights and 2 former Beavers both homered today. Nick Madrigal for the Chicago Cubs and Adley Rutschman for the Baltimore Orioles. The first pitch, a strike to Chris Brown. The 0-1 pitch to the backstop. 1-1 the count to Chris, who has doubled and struck out looking. The breeze is picking up a little bit. Been a warm, gorgeous day. The 1-1 pitch misses down and away, ball 2. 2-1. Nick here in 2015, Adley the following summer. They've gone on to do pretty well for themselves, have they not? And teammates on those historic Oregon State teams, the team that went 56-6 in 2017 and won it all in 2018. Such great young men, so exciting to watch what they have continued to do in the great game of baseball and how much they blessed all of us with their talents here. The 2-2 breaking ball hit foul into Urchin Alley to the right. The count remains 2-2. We'll have to see how Michael Conforto fared today. Can we get a third man? Breaking ball in there, strike 3 called. 2 down. Chris Brown strikes out. Nathan Marshall will face Eli Lopez, who had the RBI single in the 5th. 2 outs, nobody on, top of the 7th, 3-1 Knights.
Second baseman number 19, Eli Lopez.
The first pitch from Marshall to Lopez is high. I'm hoping that Eli, in the area that I grew up in, the same area that he did, and going to Los Altos High School in the San Gabriel Valley, the smog when I grew up there in the late 60s was awful. The 1-0 pitch fouled back and the count 1-1. I do think some changes in terms of emissions and standards and all of that since then have changed for the better, and it's not perhaps as wicked as it was when I, on a regular basis, would have runny eyes and sore lungs, and it was bad in the late 60s. The 1-1 pitch down and away, ball 2, 2-1. When those Santa Ana winds or an occasional rain would come through, speaking of a glorious blue sky today, which we had, it felt like a revelation as a 9 or 10-year-old. Mom, Dad, what's going on? The sky would be blue. Breaking ball strike to Lopez. The 2-2 pitch, a breaking ball whacked to right, base hit. Sam Stem plays it on a hop. Nathan kind of leaving that one up and out over the plate, and Lopez knew what to do with it. Sends a base hit into right field, and Max Ortega, the batter. Buster and Donna Thomas down the street from our house on Robruce Lane off of La Sabita had lived. They were new neighbors for us. They came up to the house almost scared after a cleansing rain. Fastball just misses, ball 1 there in Hacienda Heights in the valley. The rain revealed the San Gabriel Mountains and Mount Baldy and all of that. They had never seen them living there for 3 months. They woke up, walked in their backyard, and almost fell backwards. The 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed, and the count 1-1, like they were on another planet or a new world, months into their stay on Robruce Lane. So I hope things are better. A 2-out single for Eli Lopez, 1-1 to Ortega. Ground ball to the left of Yukamoto into center field for a base hit. Racing to third is Lopez. The throw from Stem is not in time. The throw to second is not in time. to try to get Eli picking up the extra 90 feet. That worked out well for Cowlitz. The throw to Tyler Quinn, or from Tyler Quinn to Mason Lee, was a good one, but not in time. So Sam Stem throwing into third. It was the right play because there was a shot, but Lopez can run. And then a good job by Ortega after his base hit to center field, seeing the throw go through to third. An aggressive turn and getting to second. So just like that, Cowlitz, with 2 down, has the tying runs in scoring position on adept base running on both Eli Lopez and Max Ortega's part. And their leadoff hitter, Sam Canton, to the plate. A chance for a 2-out hit to pull Cowlitz even. Ansonero's out for a conversation with Nathan Marshall. Canton, the right man to have at the plate, second on the team in runs batted in, and a .392 hitter. 0 for 3 today. Second and third, 2 down, 3-1 Knights, top of the 7th. Marshall delivers and the breaking ball misses. Ball 1, 1-0. Conditions have equalized here in that both pitcher and batter. Most of the field engulfed in the evening shadows now. Ethan Hott standing in the sun in left and still having to deal with it a little bit at this hour of the night. 1 ball and no strikes. Second and third, 2 down. The 1-0 pitch is lined down the right field line in the corner. A foul ball. A foul ball. Not by much. The count even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Nathan Marshall coming out of the bullpen to relieve Zach Johnson. Nathan has started 3 games, 15 innings coming in to this outing, 8 hits, 5 walks, 12 strikeouts, a 2-2 record, and an ERA of 1.80. With 2 outs, back-to-back hits, runners at second and third. Marshall delivers, lifted down the left side a long way into foul territory, races Tyler Quinn. He slides and is not able to come up with what would have been an absolutely spectacular grab. A nice try. With the left-hand hitting Canton up there, left fielder Ethan Hott had no shot to get to it. He swung way over towards the alley in left center field. Quinn, a very good athlete, good ball player, headed to the University of Utah after 4 years at Pacific. Time called. Bo Kearns, with a count of 1-2 and 2 down, is on his way out to the mound to talk to Nathan Marshall. Clearly a huge situation in the game, and Bo wants to make sure that Nathan, Anson, that they're all on the same page in terms of trying to get a tough hitter in Sam Canton out with the tying runs in scoring position in the top of the 7th inning. Game 2 of the series tomorrow night, Cowbell night. The first 250 fans will receive cowbells, compliments of Peterson Trucks and 99.9 KRKT. And then fireworks after the ball game Sunday night. The game gets underway at 7:15. First Alternative Co-op is your community-owned grocery store. They provide fresh, local, and organic groceries and have been doing so since 1970. The Co-op makes it easy for you and your family to buy local and eat healthy. Everyone is welcome at the First Alternative Co-op. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sam Canton. Nathan Marshall comes to the plate, breaking ball down in the count, 2-2. First base is open. A.J. Singer, the team leader in RBIs for the Black Bears, is on deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out, a 2-run Knights lead. Breaking ball pulled foul past first base coach Shane McCarroll. The head coach and longtime major leaguer Kelly Stinnett coaching at third. 2-2 to the left-hand hitting Sam Canton. 3-1 Knights, top of the 7th inning. Lopez at third, Ortega at second. Marshall ready. The 2-2 pitch hit high in the air to right center and playable for J.C. Ing. J.C. back to get it. He does. And the inning is over. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left in scoring position after 6.5. The Knights 3 and Cowlitz 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Ben was trying to show me Adley's homer. And I was excited to report earlier that Adley hammered a home run from the left side at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. But then I saw the score, and a little less exciting about the fact that I think Tampa Bay was still leading 8-1 after the home run. It might have been a 2-run shot. I don't know, but thank you, Ben. Bottom of the 7th inning. Leading off for the Corvallis Knights, Tai Yukamoto. And Yukamoto rips one fair down the right field line into the corner. Rounding first, Tai Yukamoto. He's thinking 3, but he'll be held at second with the right fielder, Latrey McCollum, chasing the ball down. A leadoff double for Tai Yukamoto. A bullet into the right field corner. He hit that one hard. And Brooke Knight, with nobody out, certainly did not want to make the first out of the inning at third. Reed Mooring rudely greeted, and his battery mate Max Ortega out for a visit with Reed. I was at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum complex in the World Series in 1974. What turned out to be, in Game 4, yet another A's win. They split the 2 in Los Angeles and then won all 3 in Oakland. Billy Buckner, in a tie ball game late, all the games were good, tried to stretch a double to a triple to open the inning and got thrown out at third, and I learned a lesson while ruining the moment as a fan. Not a smart ploy. And Tai Yukamoto settles for second, didn't want to risk making that out, and Brooke Knight held him. Ty was kind of confused. I thought he came around second aggressively, believing that that was a ball in triple country. But Brooke Knight put up the stop sign. J.C. Ing shows bunt and takes low. The 1-0 pitch, J.C. again pulls the bat back and takes low and in for ball 2, 2-0. 3-1 Knights. Bottom of the 7th inning. on a beautiful night for baseball in Corvallis. The right-hander Reed Mooring glances back at Yukamoto. Ing bunts it twice in the box. A foul ball, making contact twice on the bunt attempt. And the count goes to 2-1 to JC. He walked and scored in the first, doubled and scored in the third, struck out in the fourth. Trying to get Tai Yukamoto moved. The 2-1 pitch. Again, he's bunting. A good bunt to the left of the mound. Mooring comes off, throws to third. Safe is the call. The Knights get their first call tonight on a close play. A decision made by Reed Mooring to go to third with it. And the Knights are set up for a potentially big inning. JC aboard on the fielder's choice. Good base running by Yukamoto. It was close. The tenor of the night made me think that Yukamoto might be called out. But a sacrifice for JC and is aboard on the fielder's choice. Tyler Quinn, the batter. Mooring delivers. Fastball is high and inside. Ball one. 1-0 from the right-hander Reed Mooring, who becomes the fourth pitcher of the evening for Cowlitz. 6'1", 180 out of Santa Cruz and UC Santa Barbara. The 1-0 pitch is in the turf for ball two, 2-0. Bob Bending from Wilson Motors has come up to our vantage point adjacent to the McGrath family press box. The 2-0 pitch on the way, a check swing, but a strike anyway, and the count 2-1. We have Wilson Motors night coming up later. What's the date again on that? I don't have it right in front of me. July 12th this year, moving it up from instead of August to the 12th of July. You can get your free tickets now at Wilson Motors. Just drop by at 5th and Buchanan to get them. Breaking ball misses, and the count goes to 3-1 to Tyler Quinn. With runners at the corners, nobody out. Bottom of the seventh, the Knights leading 3-1. Yukamoto from third, JC Ing from first. A throw to first, and JC back to the bag. And who did you bring with you? Nice to meet you. Amy Clevenger, Grant's mom, in the house tonight. 3 balls and 1 strike. The 3-1 offering from Mooring is down and in for ball 4. The Bendings are hosting Grant Clevenger this year, and as I suspected, with pitching coach Justin Parrish heading out to the mound to visit with Reed Mooring. Blake Avila, the batter. The bases loaded and 1 out. I'm going to do something I haven't done very often, but since we have a little bit of time here, guys, bring up the second headset, please. Amy, can you pop on for a second and say hello? Are you willing to? Okay, thank you. Amy Clevenger, go ahead and bring the second microphone up, guys, if you can. Let me know. Amy, can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay, and we can hear you. Amy Clevenger, Grant's mom. Garrett Clevenger, an outstanding pitcher at Oregon in the major leagues, going through some rehab now. But you make the trip out. Bob was telling me, and I've been so impressed with Grant. Such a fine young man and outstanding pitcher. How have you enjoyed coming out here to see your son, and is he having a good time with the Knights?
He is having a ball, yes. He's having so much fun, and Amber and Bob have made him feel so welcome and so at home, and he's having a blast with the guys, so loves it out here.
Hang on just a second. We'll come back to some other things. I want to get an update on your other outstanding son that I'm aware of. You may have more kids, I don't know, but Garrett. The pitch on the way to Blake Avila, high and away, ball 1. Coach Parrish staying with the right-hander Reed Mooring. The Knights with a chance to bust this thing open here in the bottom of the 7th. Bases loaded, nobody out. The pitch to Blake Avila, a check swing on appeal, no swing. And the count goes to 2-0 with the Knights leading 3-1. But the bases are loaded with nobody out. Cowlitz playing its infield at double play depth. Yukamoto from third, Ing from second, Quinn from first. Avila takes a knee-high strike. That is the very bottom of the zone, no doubt. Avila backs out. Didn't particularly like the call. 2-1 the count. Mooring working from the windup with the bases loaded and nobody out. Bottom of the 7th, 3-1 Corvallis. Breaking ball hits Blake Avila to force in a run. Tai Yukamoto comes down the line to score. Avila into first, hit by the pitch, picking up the run, batted in. 4-1 Knights. The bases remain loaded. Ethan Hott, the batter. There is some activity going on back of Mooring in the bullpen, and we'll see if first-year head coach Kelly Stinnett is thinking of a move. Not yet. Good fastball. Ethan swings and doesn't get it. 0-1 the count. Bases full, 4-1 Knights, and a chance to really separate here in the 7th. Hott swings and fouls one into Urchin Alley, and the Urchins give chase, and the count 0-2. Amy, is your husband here too?
He is.
Okay, what's his name?
Rob.
Rob. So he's somewhere in the ballpark.
Yep.
Were you here last night?
Next to Amber. We just got here. Just drove in from Portland. So.
Okay, so when you said they were coming this weekend, Bob, they got here tonight. So you're just arriving.
Yep.
You've been here before, though, right?
Oh,
During
yes.
your other son's games against the Beavers. The pitch is hit foul to the right and out of play in the count 0-2. Fastball, strike 3 called to Ethan Hott. One away. Sam Stem, the batter, with the Knights leading 4-1. Nice sequence of pitching for Reed Morin. Could you give us an update, please, on what exactly happened to Garrett and how he's doing now?
You bet. Thank you for asking. He is doing great. He's rehabbing from ACL surgery. Was injured back in early May against the Yankees and had surgery mid-May.
The pitch to Sam Stem swung on and missed. And is the prognosis optimistic, good for a full recovery?
Very, yes.
And a timetable?
Yeah, he should have a fairly normal off season is what they're saying, so should be good to go by spring training.
0-1 the count. Bases loaded, 1 out. The strike 1 pitch is high. Amy Clevenger joining me, Grant's mom, Garrett's mom. Do you have any other kids?
Nope,
okay.
Just the 2.
2 good baseball players. And Grant was talking to me a little bit, and there's a 10-year separation there.
Yes.
But that he has had his big brother to look up to his whole life. The pitch to Stem hit foul to the left and out of play. So, in a sense, not ultra competitive with that age gap, right?
No.
But a mentor thing, a big brother, really big mentoring kind of thing,
correct.
It sounds like. Yeah.
Correct, yes.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Sam Stem. Knights leading 4-1. Sam swings and hits one foul to the left and out of play. Sam has struck out, singled, and scored, and doubled. He was left stranded last inning. The Knights hoping to get out of that funk a little bit. They've scored a run, but they have a chance to really create a big inning here. The pitch to Stem, and they'll get at least one more. A fly ball to center. Sam Canton under it to make the catch. Tagging and racing to the plate and scoring without a play is J.C. Ng on the sacrifice fly by Stem. And the Knights lead it 5-1. Mason Lee will be the batter. Well, Amy, before we let you go, I'm curious how, it's interesting to me how Garrett out of Lawrence, Kansas, found his way to Oregon, and now Grant out of Lawrence, by way of New Orleans, finds his way to Corvallis. That's interesting to me, but have they enjoyed, Garrett like the Pacific Northwest?
We love it out here. We were so excited when we found out Grant was coming here. Just give us an opportunity to come out here more. We love it, so
and
thrilled.
Garrett's experience, he enjoyed it at Oregon?
He loved every minute, yes.
Glad to hear it.
He sure did.
I didn't enjoy seeing him pitch against the Beavers. I've been the voice of the Beavers since '99, and Garrett carved us up as he did most people. The 1-0 pitch hit foul into the stands in the lower grandstand just below the Jack Riley concourse, and the count 1-1. But now I'm really excited that Garrett and Drew Rasmussen, a former Beaver,
They're
as you know.
great friends.
Are they good friends?
Great
I'm glad
friends.
to hear that.
Yeah, rehab buddies at the
Right,
moment.
right.
Yes, yeah.
Well, we certainly pull for a big and full comeback for both great young men.
Absolutely.
5-1 Knights in the 7th. The 1-1 pitch missing down and away. Ball 2, 2-1. If you followed any of the live streams you're experiencing up here tonight, even on this warm, beautiful night, can you feel that breeze beginning to come through and cooling things off a lot?
Yes.
The 2-1 pitch, a stroke to center field, base hit. Tyler Quinn will be held at third. He slid towards Brooke Knight That's not home plate. He slid into Brooke Knight and then turns and goes back to the plate with Sam Canton getting on the ball in a hurry. A solid single from Mason Lee. Anson Arrows will be the batter with the bases loaded and 2 down. The Knights leading 5-1, and Arrows, the switch hitting catcher, will step in. It is a gorgeous night here tonight. But if the temperature's a little cooler, see, that's why I bring this nightlife sweatshirt. You never know. It gets chilly up here sometimes. The pitch on the way to Arrows, good breaking ball for a strike, and the count 0-1. Grant seems excited about the opportunity coming at Nebraska.
He really is. Yes, he really is. And that was a staff he was familiar with out of high school for the most part, everybody that's still there. So I think he feels comfortable, and we're thrilled to have him a little closer to home.
How much closer? It's a lot closer than New Orleans, but a drive from Lawrence to Lincoln. 0-2 the count to Anson Arrows, who takes just outside 1-2. How long of a drive is it?
About 3.5 hours.
Okay, that's good.
Yep.
Did you get down to New Orleans much?
We did.
Okay.
We did, yeah. So that was a lot of fun, too.
Bases loaded, 2 down, 2 runs in. The Knights leading 5-1. The pitch to Arrows in the turf. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Knights with the bases loaded. Now they've scored 2, and they're in good shape 6 outs away. But you feel like one more hit would kind of deliver the knockout punch. Arrows trying to provide it. The 2-2 pitch hit foul to the left and out of play. It remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. And I don't know if it's just their physiology or whatever else, but when I watch Grant, I remember Garrett. Did it strike you guys as parents that way too?
Yes, very similar. Yep.
It's great style. The 2-2 pitch hit foul again off to the left. Do you think that was a conscious choice on Grant's part, as just as the way it evolved?
I don't. It's been that way since he was young, so I didn't notice it at first, and then people started to point that out. So
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 in, bases loaded, bottom of the 7th. The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball up and in, nearly clipped the helmet of Anson Arrows, and the count goes full to 3-2. And the other thing, too, that you've probably perceived in talking to Grant about his experience here, summer ball it may be, but the sense of brotherhood, the love these guys have for each other. The runners go on the 3-2 pitch, a slow roller to Lopez. Eli picks it up and throws Arrows out to retire the side. The Knights leave 3, but get 2. We'll close on this. Is it your sense that Grant's really enjoying meeting all of these new guys here?
Very much, and he understands too, watching his brother go through this, that he'll cross paths with these guys for years, and make friendships that he'll have for years to come. So these are days to just embrace and enjoy every single minute. So
well, we really enjoyed you spending some time with us on the broadcast.
Thank you
really
so
nice
much.
to meet you. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
Amy Clevenger, Grant's mom. The Knights get 2. We go to the 8th. The Knights 5 and Cowlitz 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Top of the 8th inning at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Frank Camarillo is the new pitcher for the Corvallis Knights. Pape Material Handling keeps you moving one step closer to home this season and every night season. Pape Material Handling and the Knights team up in support of COI, Community Outreach, Inc., a local nonprofit dedicated to helping people lead healthy and productive lives through challenging circumstances. What a great job they do. To learn more about the team's One Step Closer to Home initiative, visit corvallisknights.com/COI. Top of the 8th, 5-1 Knights. They scored 2 but left the sacks full, so a chance to really break it open. They came up a little bit short in their bid. They've left the bases loaded twice. But it is a 4-run advantage with 6 outs remaining to Cowlitz. A.J. Singer, the right-hand hitting shortstop, takes Camarillo's first pitch for a strike. The 0-1 offering from Frank, a line drive to right center field. J.C. Ing moving over to haul it in. One away, and Ethan Mann, the batter. Camarillo is making just his second appearance. He's worked an inning and a third, a hit, a couple of walks. Camarillo out of Moreno Valley, California, and a pitcher at UC Santa Barbara for the great Andrew Checketts, former Oregon State All-America. First pitch from Frank is a fastball strike to Ethan Mann. The Knights have used Zach Johnson, who is the pitcher of record, who went 5. Nathan Marshall 2, and now Camarillo. Frank strike 1 pitch. Missing. High and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. The 1-1 pitch off speed, waved at and missed. One ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, flailed out and missed for strike 3. Ethan Mann 0 for 4. 2 down in the top of the 8th inning. And Brandon Larson to the plate.
First baseman, number 50, Brandon Larson.
I don't think we've ever had a parent on quite like that ever before, but Bob Bending of Wilson Motors. Again, Wilson Motors night coming up. Get your tickets. They're free. Drop by the dealership at 5th and Buchanan for Wilson Motors at your leisure. They've got tickets ready to give away for that July 12th Wilson Motors night. The pitch, a strike to Larson. 0-1 the count. 2 down, nobody on. Top of the 8th. 5-1 Knights. Bob ushered Amy up here. The pitch on the way, swung on and fouled at the plate. And she was just standing behind me as I was carrying on in the bottom of the 7th. Well, we haven't put a headset on a mom or a dad very often. And she was great. Really appreciated her joining us. The 1-2 changeup, swung on and missed, strike 3. Beautiful stuff for Frank Camarillo. The inning is over and he retires the Black Bears in order. We go to the bottom of the 8th, the Knights 5 and Cowlitz 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. 5-1 Knights. Bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch, breaking ball to Tate Shamau, in there for a strike. Tate is grounded to short, had a sacrifice fly, and struck out. The strike one pitch hit sharply on a hop to Chris Brown, the Cowlitz third baseman. Throws across the diamond to Brandon Larson for the out. One gone, bottom of the 8th. Tai Yukamoto will be the hitter. Tai has flied to left, been hit by a pitch, and doubled and scored. If you find that your home, office, or investment property is dirty, dingy, or worn, we encourage you to check out the great work of All Pro Property Services. They've helped thousands get the best out of their properties, from investment, renovations, facility services, housekeeping, and move-out cleans. All Pro has the bases covered. The first pitch to Tai Yukamoto from Reed Morin misses. The 1-0 offering is outside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Yukamoto swings and hits one foul to the left. Morin working back with a count of 2-1 to Yukamoto. We encourage you to visit allproproperty.net for more information. The 2-1 pitch to Yukamoto is high. Ball 3, 3-1. Morin's 3-1 pitch misses. And Yukamoto doing a nice job out of the 9th hole, getting on base for the 3rd time tonight. J.C. Ng, the batter. J.C. walked and scored in the 1st, doubled and scored in the 3rd. Bunted sacrificially, got on base in a fielder's choice last inning. He has patrolled center field with considerable acumen tonight. He takes high and away, ball 1, 1-0. Taking a look at candidates for our Washington Park Advisors Player of the Game. The guy at the top of the order right here might be at the top of the list. The 1-0 pitch, a strike. Scoring runs and making plays defensively. That's a good night. 5-1 Knights, bottom of the 8th. There goes Yukamoto. The pitch is not a strike. The throw to second is a good one, but not in time. Yukamoto is in with the stolen base, and another contribution to Coy from Papay Material Handling Community Outreach Inc. The pitch missing a little bit high. The count 2-1. Tai Yukamoto with the steal. J.C. Ng trying to pick him up and clinch the player of the game. He slices one to left field. Ethan Mann moving over. Ethan makes the catch. Yukamoto with a hard tag, but he'll stay at second base. 2 down in the bottom of the 8th. Tyler Quinn, the hitter. 5-1, the Knights in front. And the good pitching from the Knights tonight, Zach Johnson, Nathan Marshall. See if Frank Camarillo gets a chance to finish it when we go to the top of the 9th, notwithstanding. I would have Ng now as the player of the game, but guys, have we had, I can't remember if we've had JC. I think we have. And I don't think we've had Zach Johnson, so that, might send it Zach's way. The 1-0 pitch, a high pop-up on the right side. Brandon Larson in foul territory makes the catch. And the Knights are gone in the 8th, but they take a 4-run lead to the top of the 9th, 3 outs away from taking game 1 of the series. The Knights 5 and Cowlitz 1. Back after this on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Top of the ninth inning, Frank Camarillo with a 5-1 lead goes to work on Grant Jay and starts the outstanding DH catcher, ball one. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. Grant 0 for 3 tonight with a couple of strikeouts. A 262 hitter coming in with Cowlitz. The 1-1 pitch, Camarillo drills Grant Jay. I think Grant's just fine. It couldn't have felt good, but he heads down to first base, getting hit by a pitch.
Now batting for the Black Bears, the right fielder, number 8, Latrey McCullum.
And that'll bring Latrey McCullum to the plate with the Knights leading 5-1. Now, that's a pretty good lead, a 4-run lead, but it's not necessarily one that just has the coaching staff saying, hey, we're fine. And they're not quite as fine as they were a moment ago, as Latrey McCullum, who has scored the lone run for Cowlitz, swings at the first pitch from Camarillo and strokes it back up the middle for a base hit. Grant Jay stops at second. So, with the Knights unable to deliver that knockout blow in the bottom of the 8th, or more in the bottom of the 7th, when they had the bases loaded and a chance to really bust it. Chris Brown, the batter, with 2 on and nobody out. Cowlitz still has life in this ball game, only down 4 with a tying run now in the on-deck area. One ball and no strikes to Chris Brown, who has doubled and struck out twice. Camarillo's breaking ball pulled slowly foul. The count 1-2. Remember, tomorrow night, get here early, get your cowbell, and be ready to ring those bells. If I'm sounding like Evie Tornquist, come on and ring those bells. I don't know. That's an ancient reference right there, but it seemed like there was a song, something to that effect, in the mid-'70s. 1 ball and 1 strike to Brown. A chopper towards third. Quinn steps on third for 1 to second, not in time, and he needed to throw the ball to first. Tyler Quinn has done a great job defensively, but that was a mistake. He should have stepped on third and thrown to first. Then he gets a double play. Instead, there's only 1 out. You're almost out of the woods, and the ball game's nigh unto over. McCullum runs too well. Very good runner. We saw McCullum get a couple of stolen bases earlier. So that's one Tyler Quinn would like to have back. He gets the put out on the force play, but it still leaves Cowlitz very much alive. Instead of a double play and a man at second with an out to go, only 1 out with runners at first and second. Chris Brown aboard on the fielder's choice, unassisted to Tyler Quinn, but he had a good chance for a double play if he just steps on third and throws to first. Now the pitch to Eli Lopez, who's had a good ball game, misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Eli is 2 for 3 with an RBI out of the 8th hole. Takes a breaking ball for a strike, and the count 1-2. 5-1 Knights, top of the 9th inning. Latrey McCullum at second, Chris Brown at first with 1 out. Max Ortega, the on-deck hitter. 1-2 the count to Eli Lopez. Fastball high. Ball 2, 2-2. There is some activity going on in the Knights bullpen. Camarillo hoping to wrap it up on his own. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 on and 1 out. Frank kicks and comes to the plate. Breaking ball hits slowly towards the second baseman, Mason Lee. He makes the play to first for out number 2. And the Black Bears down to their final out, but they do move runners into scoring position on the slow tapper by Lopez. Max Ortega, who is grounded to second, hit that high pop fly that landed in fair territory, and he was thrown out at first on a bizarre play by Anson Arrows. Single to center in his last at-bat, takes a fastball strike from Camarillo here. 0-1 the count. Top of the ninth inning, runners at second and third, and 2 outs. Camarillo trying to bring it home, comes with the 0-1 breaking ball down and away. Zach Johnson, the pitcher of record for the Knights, the pride of Lake Ridge, a Gunderson baseball disciple. The 1-1 pitch, good fastball from Camarillo. In there for strike 2, 1-2 the count, and competing on the bluff. Appears as though he has sewn up our Washington Park Advisors player of the game if the Knights and Camarillo and company can finish it here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch on the way, a 2-hopper towards the shortstop, Yukamoto. Ty fields and throws and gets him, and the ball game is over. The Knights win their 6th straight. They improve to 15-7 and take game 1 of this 3-game West Coast League Series. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Knights. A run, 6 hits, 1 error for Cowlitz in the opener. So the Knights, after their uncharacteristically slow start to the season, beginning to find themselves doing a lot of things well and take game 1. Now remember, game 2 tomorrow night will be Cowbell Night, presented by Peterson Trucks and Cricket Country 99.9 KRKT. Be among the first 250 fans. You'll get a cowbell, and we hope you will ring loudly tomorrow night. 6:20 for the live stream pregame and a 6:35 first pitch. Tonight, 1,733. 1,733 in the ballpark tonight watching game 1, and it goes to the Knights by a final score of 5-1. For our crew tonight of Andrew Henderson, Thomas Rudolph, and Casey Lavin, and back in our studios, a combo of Garrett, TJ, and Dale. This is Mike Parker thanking you for joining us, and thanks to Amy Clevenger for jumping on, putting the headset on for a bit tonight here too. A good win for the Knights, another one. They win it 5-1. We'll talk to you tomorrow night at 6:20 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. So long, everybody.